afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tac Delta. Welcome to Tier 3 of the Performance Racing League. We're on board with Night King here, taking a little tour off the track, but certainly to bring that back in. This is round 12. We are in France, in Paul Ricard for the test track here, which is made a racetrack one weekend out of the year for the Formula 1 racing. And Night King's giving us just the time to go ahead and hop on board. We'll ride along here with this one. So he goes really wide off the first corner there, down into fourth gear, really trying to get it through. He's not going to be super happy with this lap, but going to carry on anyways. Wants to get the bang for his buck when it comes to this lap. So coming around that slow right-hander, now onto the back straight here. Really long back straight. The DRS will be powerful here today for this race. Get through the little chicane. This one's a lot of fun if you can take it just right. Getting just through the chicane there. Coming down another pseudo straight. Into the right-hander, no brake needed, no lift needed. Scrub off a little bit of speed, but not too much. Coming into this late apex. Couple downshifts down into fourth for Night King. And come up the hill, bend back to the left. Gotta really get it slowed down. That curve tightens as you go. Coming down in here now, going past the pit entry. And Night King's gonna be our first driver to set a lap time. I lied, it's Scuderia Shep who sets the first lap time of 132.7. Will Night King be in that neighborhood? Let's see, he's in the 32s, 33. So 33.6, 33.7 for Night King. Tar Heels jumping up ahead with a 32.55. Beaten up by Jimmy with a 132.28. Glad to see Jimmy's triumphant return here. I think we had Jimmy. I did not do commentary in Austria, so I'm not sure what happened in the race there. I'll have to review. But Jimmy was not quite on form last time I was in comms at Silverstone, but Jimmy seems to have gotten things straightened out and is now holding provisional pole. We've got 13 minutes remaining in this qualifying session for Tier 3. Let's see who else is out to entertain us. How about Northern Canuck? Northern Canuck going to be coming right to the line here, with Sheriff Saff just ahead of him, setting a 131.3. And Northern Canuck goes fifth fastest with a 133.069. So well done to those two. It looks like Femi and Dutch are the only ones out left, and that's Dutch putting a time in of a 133.2. And Femi coming through here in the first sector, just getting prepped up to go into sector 1 time with 23 seconds. Gets a little wiggly, but he's got it together. He's down the front straight now. Let's see what max speed they can top out here. He's broken the 200 mile an hour mark. And 203.4. I think I saw 205. It's 205 miles an hour down here on the straight for Femi Thrustmaster. For those of you curious, that is 329 kilometers per hour for our European audience. So pretty swift down the back straight for Femi. Femi, I believe, had a standout performance in, where was this? Was it Great Britain? I think maybe taking driver of the day there. Was not on the podium. No, didn't even race in Great Britain. It was in Canada where Femi took a spot on the podium in second place. Femi's going to cross the line here with a 132.5. That puts them up into third place, so a great drive from Femi. And I think most drivers returning to the pits. We may see Hayskran out on a lap in that Red Bull. Hayskran just now starting a lap. And while Hayskran gives us a tour, let's see, I'm just now catching up with the results from Austria. So it looks like Hayskran is actually the winner. So coming off a race win here, Jimmy was on the podium in second place, and Lucozade topped off in third position. So, who are we missing from our Fast Five? So, Fast Five, I see Cher, who's usually holding a spot here. Jimmy also holds a spot in the Fast Five, was on par to lose it, but has regained it since. Tar Heels, another one of the Fast Five. Scuderia Shep, a member of the Fast Five, and I believe the final member is Lucozade, who is just now coming out to set a qualifying lap. So that is the original Fast Five. Like I said, we may see some member shuffling, but for now, let's see what Lucozade can do here at the Circuit Paul Ricard. We'll get back on with Haystrand, who is just now wrapping up a lap in Sector 3, going right past the pit entry there. Coming down in this final corner, it's so tough to make sure you just get around that corner without running too wide. Haystrand takes it quite nicely. Haystrand's going to run up to the line. I don't think it's going to be at the top. Haystrand setting a 132.8 for P6 at the moment in time. Let's jump on board with Lucozade here. We'll want to see Lucozade's lap, see just how quickly they can go. I think, well, we'll come back to Lucozade actually because they're on the hot lap. Let's go with Shep and Tar Heels both, I believe, working on a fresh hot lap as we speak. Looks like Shep's going to be the first one to set, so we'll watch Shep, then Tar Heels, and we'll drop back to Lucozade for the start of their lap. That's Shep with a best in Sector 2. What else can he get done here? Drives a pretty decent line through there. Takes all the curve. I think that's Haystrand just getting out of the way nicely. Night King has had a collision with Cher Shaft. Let's get on board with that right after Shep sets the lap. I'm not sure where those two are. But that is interesting indeed. Scuderia Shep going to come across the line here with a 132, so we'll not see much of an improvement. We got Cher Shaft up here who was on the outlap. Who did they collide with? Night King. Does Night King have damage? And does Cher have any damage? I'm not thinking so. But a 5-place grid penalty for that is going to be major. I don't see any damage there on Night King. Cher's car looks to be clean as well. So maybe just a little small tap. Sometimes the game gets a little over dramatic with these qualifying contact penalties. It looks like Tar Heels has abandoned the lap, which means Lucozade is now setting a fast one. So we'll drop back and get on board with Lucozade here. And Lucozade just now wrapping up the lap, coming through the third sector, has that tight right-hander to get onto the front straight. The time looks good so far. Such a long pit straight before you actually hit your time. Breaks the beam with a 131.8. So far, only two drivers breaking into the 131s. That's Cher Shaft and Lucozade. And we have our Fast Five covering the top six. Femi looking to make a mark in the top five. A well-deserved mark, I think. But you look at the two times between the two, and they are very tight together. So we'll have to see. We may have to just expand it to the Fast Six. We'll see about that. So, let's see if we can find a member of the home team. Taufer's not out on track. Night King is. Where's Night King at? There we are. Not quite the home team, but I don't see any. The only Alpine they have here is Taufer, who's not currently out on the track. So we do have Northern. Was that? No, it wasn't Northern Canuck. Who was that? That was Lucozade stopped on the track, I think, just getting out of the way. Making room for maybe Jimmy Pullup. Yeah, we've got Jimmy Pullup out here on a lap. So this is a circuit. It's designed as a test circuit. So as some of you may know, the stripes on the side are meant to slow the drivers down. The white stripes will slow you down a little bit. The blue stripes slow you down a little bit more. And the red stripes, which you can just barely see there on the right, those are meant to slow you down a lot. But the construction of this track as a test track means it's pretty easy on the tires. Jimmy's gonna say I'm done with this one, and Lucaze's gonna poke in right behind him. So who else is out? Maybe let's see if we can get on board with Femi, enjoying the blue stripes there. Blends right in with the car. Just letting Chaos Druid go through. The construction of this as a test track makes it quite easy on the tires. I found in my own running with the soft tires and the hard tires, they wear not at the same rate, but the soft tires are a lot closer to the hards than usual. So you can usually get a pair of softs to last quite a bit here. So we're watching Femi come through. Gets a great line through the first two corners. I've holding out quite a bit here for Femi. I see a lot of good potential in this driver. Always showing up, always quick. And so far this season just hasn't participated in many races. Has podiumed in 40% of the races they've participated in. No wins yet for Femi. But similar to OTL Feb looking to just come in and make a big mark, which OTL Feb has actually DNF'd the last few races, so we haven't seen much from them. I don't see them in this race either. So OTL Feb's march to the front is going to be halted a little bit. And running low on races here, so as far as the Performance Racing League, our season, we have this track, France. We'll follow it up with a trip to Hungary. We will be in Belgium for the Circuit Spa de Francorchamps. Would not want to skip that one. We will head back to Italy for Monza, the Temple of Speed. And our season will wrap up with Brazil. And we'll make our final stop in Abu Dhabi. Femi not able to go up any positions on this lap, so we'll need to save up. We're just going to get out of the way here for Lucaze going by. No, Lucaze's actually already out on the track. That would have been Northern Canuck. I believe Tar Heels is about to set a lap. Looks like they're down 36 thou. I don't know if they're going to see much of an improvement here, but they come across the line. They do jump Scuderia Shep and Femi. So Tar Heels wants to cement that spot in the Fast Five. Says, I'm here to stay. You're not knocking me out today, Tack. Let's drop down. Let's get on board with Taufer for the home team here in Alpine. The French squad. Taufer's coming through this final bend here. Going to get right on the line and heading up. We'll see what kind of lap time Taufer can set. Going to be looking to jump Dookie Hoser, and does by 2 tenths with an 8 tenths improvement on the lap time. So Taufer will be pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with quite a drastic jump there. Let's see who we can get to next. How about Tar Heels? Tar Heels has already invalidated the lap, so no dice there. And Tar Heels not saving any battery, not planning on doing another lap. Cher Shaft setting the next fastest lap. We haven't seen a fast lap in a little while, but Cher will show us one with a 131.3. So now the question is Cher planning on charging up to go for another run? I don't see the deployment. And that's Dutch, who's retired from the session. That is in the pit lane. So Dutch satisfied with a 133.29. Says it's not getting any faster from here. So Dutch is done for this qualifying session. Lucasade is out on a warm-up lap. Has charged up some of the battery, so Lucasade going to be looking to make the most of this last minute. He will be one of the few drivers to start. I don't see who is up ahead of him. Is that Shep? It is. So I think Shep will be the last driver to actually get a time set on the track. Lucozade is going to be the first to put a time down for us. So we'll keep a watch on Lucozade. Just see how they do. And Lucozade improving by, I think, a half second, if I saw that correctly, setting a sector best for the first sector. So now coming in through the back straight. Handles the large chicane quite nicely. Continues to run down into the faux straight. Lucozade still up on the previous time by 4/10, so looking good so far. 4/10 is not going to be enough to get him in touching distance of Sheriff Shaft. He needs to find a little bit more time through here if he wants pole. Stays far to the right, cuts into the left now. Gets a little bit of curb action. Can he make this smooth? Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Gets on the throttle smooth and fast. That's for sure. Can Lucozade take pole? No. Sheriff Shaft will hold on to pole. Next challenger is Jimmy Pullup, who is only 9 thou up on their previous lap time. That's not going to be enough. But that's not going to stop Jimmy. He's got plenty of opportunities here in the last sector to make up some time. It's a very technical section, so anywhere you can find 2 to 3 tenths. Jimmy is going to need about 6 or 7 of them. Gets a little loose there on that curb. He straightens it out. He's on the throttle. Jimmy will come across. He will slot into P3rd. Hayescran, next one across the line. Hayescran moves up in front of his teammate Tar Heels. So Hayescran making a good improvement. Goes up to P4. I believe our next one across the line that's setting a time will be... I can't tell. I think it's Chaos Druid. It's going to be... Nope, Chaos is going to take it into the pit lane. That leaves Night King as the only driver left on a hot lap, and that one is way too slow. So this will be your grid for our race today. We've got Sheriff Shaft taking another pole position, so well done to Sheriff Shaft. Take that pole position. Has not won a race this season, so we'll be looking to make that statement here. How can you be in the Fast 5 and not win a race? Well, just ask Sheriff Shaft. He'll tell you. He'll join the front row with Lucozade, who's going to slot into P2. Sheriff Shaft pulling out a full half second, so looking good for Sheriff this weekend. Jimmy Pullup and Hayescran will occupy the second row, followed by Tar Heels and Scuderia Shep. Femi Thrustmaster slotted back down to 7th after a lot of drivers ahead just setting better times. Up next to Baba Yaga, who has decided to start setting qualifying laps, so a new statement from Baba Yaga here. Chaos Druid and Northern Canuck will round out the top 10. And Night King suffering from that 5 position drop due to contact with Sheriff Shaft. We have seen contact with Sheriff Shaft in qualifying before. So I don't know if this is one that the stewards will end up seeing or if it's just one of those wacky penalties. Regardless of what it is, if you're new to the Performance Racing League, I'm going to inform you that we give our drivers about 2 minutes between qualifying and the race. This allows the drivers to take care of any final race preparations as well as get their strategies set and in place. I've not been notified of a wet race and I don't see any rain here, so I think we'll be in good shape for the running. And while the drivers are taking their break, we're also going to take a quick break in the commentary box. We will step out for a couple of minutes and we'll be right back with you. We're back for the formation lap, ladies and gentlemen. So you saw the pit strategy there. Looking for a pit stop from the hard to the medium, anywhere between lap 15 and 20. So quite a wide pit window. If you come in a couple laps earlier than that, you can go on to the mediums and then onto the softs towards the end of the race. So we'll see what drivers choose to do. Let's also get a look at our choices for starting tire. So take a look, we have hard runners throughout the field with the exception of Tar Heels and Femi. So these two drivers looking to make a quick start. We'll see how well this works out for them. We'll see how well they can zoom away from the rest of the pack. That will be the goal, is to get far ahead and then come on to the hards at the end of the race. Now, in Tier 2, we did not see a safety car. We didn't even see a virtual safety car through the entire race. So any driver that's betting strategy on that is going to be severely disappointed. I don't think we're going to see one today. I'm not getting any read on the weather, so I think we're just going to have to assume that it will be dry. As the drivers are now coming up to the grid here. You see that predicted pit stop strategy, not accurate for Tar Heels because he's starting on the mediums. Sheriff Shaft unable to park the car. It's a simple task, but apparently outside of Sheriff Shaft's abilities. Sorry, Sheriff. Just giving you a little humility. And we see the rest of the front six are all together. The rest of the pack slowly coming in behind them, all grading up at about the same time. So well done to them. And we're getting ready now for the start of the race. Let's get on board with our leader. Actually, let's get on board with Lucasade, who should have the best view of the start of the action. Lucasade is away. Sheriff Shaft holding that lead quite nicely. Let's see how everybody gets through turn one. It looks clean. We're clean through turn one. Looks like Femi Thrustmaster got a little jump, but has now been passed up by Shep and Tar Heels. So those medium tires really working well for Tar Heels here. And the rest of the drivers just starting to slot in. I think that's Chaos Druid in the back there, who's up a few positions. Sheriff Shaft looking to run a little wide. Lucas is going to get right into the slipstream here. We are at the start of the race. There will not be any DRS. However, the slipstream's always there. You can't break the laws of physics. So Sheriff Shaft holding out, not giving too much to Lucasade in terms of slipstream. They almost have a collision here. Lucasade going to look to slowly recover that. Jimmy Pull-Up slotting in just behind him. And this is our grid so far. I don't think much of a position shift off the start, except for Haystrand, who dropped way back. We've missed that. Must have been a spin. Right on board with Femi. You can see all the leaders right ahead of them. So turn one, drivers, everybody's clean. Great start for Night King, recovering from that penalty quickly, all the way up 6 positions. So well done to Night King. That's Haystrand getting around Green Hornet. Haystrand's going to have some work to do from the back of the pack. That's a car sideways. That appears to have been Calfer. Calfer taking a little spin there. Unfortunate. Hopefully they can get that car moving again. There's the pit stop strategy one more time. That median stop is at between laps 11 and 21. And after you run those mediums for a little while, sorry, not anywhere between those, that's how long you run them. You run them from lap 11 to 21, I believe. Then the soft tires finish off that stint. You see Femi Thrustmaster here closing up onto Scuderia Chef. Looks like Night King has had a spin, is now sliding off the track, dropping down a few positions. So all that work right at the beginning has gone away. Let's get back on board with Shep, who is now starting to close up on Tar Heels. Those medium tires not really doing what I think Tar Heels wanted them to. He's still behind Jimmy Pull-Up, Lucasade, and Sheriff Shaft. And almost looks like a little sideways there, so we'll keep an eye out. We'll see if the strategy is going to pay off for Tar Heels. We will have DRS coming through. Sheriff Shaft has already pulled the gap on Lucasade, so no worries there. And it looks like Jimmy Pull-Up has also pulled, or sorry, Lucasade pulled the gap from Jimmy, so no DRS for Jimmy. Tar Heels, is that wing going to fly open? Sure is. The Tar Heels is going to have DRS. He's going to be chasing down Jimmy Pull-Up. Shep's right behind him, but DRS on DRS is not going to help. That looks like Femi plummeting down the field. What has happened with Femi? Just a little spin off the track. Do we see any damage on that Williams vehicle? We do not. So I think Femi is going to be okay. Night King picking up a penalty there. I believe that was a track limits penalty. Let's jump back up here to Tar Heels, who's closing in on Jimmy Pull-Up, almost suffocating in the exhaust coming out of Jimmy Pull-Up's car. Meanwhile, Shep's doing the same trick to Tar Heels, so these three all running quite closely together. DRS is going to make it interesting. How is Jimmy going to be able to defend? Going into this first turn, it's not quite as bad because you really have to be able to get a jump. Jimmy's using all the battery he's got, but that's not much, and there's Tar Heels cruising past on the medium tires. Is Shep going to make the move too? No, Shep is back. Plus, we've gotten a bad exit out of the corner. Night King picking up another 3-7 time penalty for warnings on the track. Night King seems to be having some struggles here and has retired from the session. I believe that's in the pit lane. I don't think that is on track. So, well done for making sure to put it in the pit lane for the retirement. And we will hope that that car does not make a reappearance. We've had some issues with cars having pit stops and then returning to the track. And it looks like it is going to try to come back out. Oh my goodness, Tar Heels just takes a massive chunk of curb. And that's spun out all three drivers, Jimmy, Shep, and Tar Heels. I wish we could have an instant replay on that, because I couldn't tell if it was the curb or if it was getting hit. I guess one thing that would tell us that is if anybody has damage on the front, because that was quite an impact. Shep's car looks to be okay. I see the front wing looks to be intact. Tar Heels is okay. I haven't seen Jimmy's car. Jimmy's front wing looks okay too, so I don't know if it was contact. I think it was just Tar Heels hitting that curb, getting loose. And the other drivers just collecting. The ghosting not working for the drivers today. Never want to assume it's on, you just want to hope it's on. So we see Shep here chasing down Northern Canada. He's going to be looking to catch back up. This has allowed Sheriff Shaft and Lucasade to run away with it. It's going to be looking good for Mercedes in the Constructors Championship. And Northern's going to just let Shep go. Doesn't want to get tangled up into this corner. Not necessarily the worst move. The race is dry. We are getting that feedback now, so thank you to whoever is still logged in. I'm going to guess it's probably one of our fine admins. Be it Shep or Share, not quite sure. Hopefully it's Share so he can hear all the crap that I've been giving him. And that is Druid that has gone off the track. I think the car's going to be okay. No, that right wing doesn't look, the right side of that front wing doesn't look quite right. I don't know if maybe Jimmy's car can give us a perspective, or maybe Baba Yaga's. And the wing looks a little cockeyed. It might be okay. It may just be my eyes deceiving me. We'll jump back up to Northern Canada. Gonna chase the Shep down now. And the drivers starting to kind of settle into their positions now. Looks like Baba Yaga and Jimmy Pull-Up are going to fight it out. So we'll see a battle between these three here. Jimmy can't get it on the track. He's going to go into the box. May have had some wing damage. And looks like he's actually going in just behind Tar Heels. Tar Heels is getting a wing, so Tar Heels has had some damage. Let's see if Jimmy's also lined up for a wing. I don't know where Jimmy's box is here, all the way at the end of the straight, so a little long time to wait here. I don't see a wing going on in that car, so Jimmy's okay, just wanted to get fresh tires. So Tar Heels, they come out, they pit right with each other. They are neck and tail. But Jimmy Pull-Up seeming to get out just fine. Got Tar Heels right behind him, so that's two of our Fast Five who have come into the box. Let's get an idea of the tires here. I would assume, yep, so Jimmy on the mediums. That's very early. Those mediums are going to struggle towards the end, but he might be able to pull it off. Tar Heels going onto the hards. I think those tires can make it, but at the same time, I think it's going to be a similar story where it's going to be a little tough towards the end. That's Dookie Hoser picking up a 30-second penalty for track limits. Let's jump back up to Chaos, who is still right up behind Baba Yaga. Not quite as up close as Femi is with Dookie, though, so maybe that's the reason for Dookie taking a little off-track spill. Femi's putting all the pressure on him. And Femi just closing and closing closer. Femi's teammate Share Shaft setting the fastest lap. They're up in the lead, has no problems from anyone. So barring Jimmy and Tar Heels, because they've just come in for a pit stop, let's get our heroes and zeros in. Right as we see an overtake from Femi. Oh, very close, very heroic. Not quite the criteria for our heroes and zeros, but well done for that. We'll get to the heroes and zeros in a minute. We've got some on-track action that we need to pay attention to here. We've got Green Hornet, who again, playing it safe as they do, but it's still right up on Dookie Hoser. Going to be looking for maybe a move here on the DRS straight, especially with Dookie Hoser getting a terrible exit out of the corner, running up on the curbs. Running a little wide there either side for Green Hornet, but he's going to have the DRS here. Cracks it open, and now the speed starts rising fast, rising rapidly. Look at that, 207, 208 miles an hour. Lifting a little bit early into the corner, but does get the move done. For my European friends, 208 miles an hour, 334 kilometers. Just screaming down the straight for Green Hornet, and he's going to continue to pull away from Dookie Hoser. Hayscran is going to have to qualify as one of our zeros for the race today. Had a really rough start, just sitting in the back now. Wants to make a move up. We've got plenty of race left for him to do it, but it is going to take a little bit of effort. And hopefully a safety car comes his way, but I'm not going to put too many bets on that. I think our two heroes are going to have to be Dutch and Canuck. Both drivers have made up 6 positions so far early in the race. Honorary mention is going to go to Scuderia Shep for getting into that tangled contact and catching up with everybody now except for Lucasade and Share Shaft. So honorary mention to Scuderia Shep for that. But in the meantime, the drivers are now maybe going to settle into position. I don't see any major overtakes in the works. Big lockup here from Taufer. But manages to keep it on track. I do see a yellow in Sector 1. It's been cleared quite quickly. Looks like Chaos and Dookie Hose are going at it. They're on the straight now. Chaos has the DRS, just can't get the usage. Oh, he's going on the inside. They're going to be close. Chaos pulls it out. That's the second time Dookie Hoser's been taken on the straight here. Gonna get sick and tired of that one before too long, bud. Especially with Hayscran not too far behind. Dookie using up what battery they have, which is now down to 0. Chaos sitting pretty on about 50% battery. There's a little flip around action. France is a decent track to drive. It is fun to battle on. It's just a little difficult to find a battle, I think. Probably as it's closing up on Dutch is the closest one that we've got so far. Continuing to toy with the times. Now Baba Yaga's going to start making a little ground here on Dutch using the DRS. But will he be able to hold it through the twisty bits? That's the question we're all going to want to know. The gap right now is about 0.6 of a second. Lots of lines through that long right-hander. It seems like just about any line will work. So that 6/10 gap, Baba Yaga able to hold some of it, but not quite all of it, sitting about now 2/10 behind Dutch. Now almost a full second. We'll have the DRS anyway. Gets a great exit. DRS is open, trying to make up some ground here on Dutch. Gets within 0.3 of a second now. And this little section here is still a technical section, but not quite as bad. This one flows a lot more than than Sector 3. We'll look for Baba Yaga to get something done on the straight, but has dropped quite a bit of time there. May have actually fallen out of the DRS zone. We'll see. Does he have any DRS? I don't think so. He's going to use some battery to make up for it. In the meantime, we see Dookie Hoser, I think it's just been passed by Hayscran. Was closing up, I think is also out of DRS now. So going to be looking to use the slipstream to get closer, just what Baba Yaga's done here. Baba Yaga trying to close up, not quite getting there. He needs to be able to hold this gap in the technical section. Baba Yaga pulling that gap down to a half second now. That might be enough to get by on the straight here. Doesn't quite get the move done down the front. And that's Jimmy with a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Not a great race for Jimmy. They've dropped back to the back since that pit stop. And not quite catching up to the rest of the field here. Baba Yaga gonna get pretty tired of running around behind Chef here. Babiaga able to stay in the gap, but just not able to get the job done. The medium tire gamble for Femi, I don't think is paying off either. They've closed up some, but they're just not quite there, and they're going to have to come in. They do come in now, actually. Come in for the hard tire. Get it slowed down, don't want any pit lane infractions. And I would expect to see the hard tire here coming on to Femi's car. The Williams pit spot all the way down here at the end. That is the hard tire for Femi. Dookie also coming in, going on to the medium tire now. Might be a touch early for that, I don't know about it. See a yellow in sector 1, I think that's just for Femi rejoining the track. No, it looks like it might be for Taufer. I think Taufer's had some issues here. Maybe got the tires a little too warm, but is able to now return it to the track and keep it there. Jimmy has pitted for the soft tire now. I think that's going to be a little too long to run. Maybe had some wing damage and just had to pit. Not going to be going well for Jimmy. He will not be happy with this performance. And that's going to damage his shot at the championship, certainly sitting 122 points back. We're getting into the closing stages now to where that's going to be tough to overcome, especially if his competitors continue to put in solid performances like we've seen out of Shep, Tar Heels, and Lucasade. In the top 3 in the championship. Got a yellow in sector 3. That looks to be Chaos Druid, who's just now getting it back onto the track. And one of the ones who has not yet made a pit stop. Tar Heels has moved up to 9th position after some overtakes and off-track spills and pit stops. We can hop back on board with Babiaga, who is still chasing down Dutch. Babiaga continuing to close up on Dutch, but just not quite getting there. Dutch just sitting ahead, driving cool, driving comfortable. I think the pit stop is going to be where we'll see an exchange between the two. Femi on the fresh hard tire, setting a new fastest lap. At the moment, we'll not get points for that, but with everyone ahead of them getting ready to pit, I think we might see some points taken home for that. Babiaga just getting ever closer to Dutch. Jimmy pull up with the soft tires, says, "Hey Femi, I'll see your fastest lap and I'll raise it." I think almost close to a second. Let's see if we can get that pulled up. Yeah, snatching the fastest lap by 1.4 seconds. So Jimmy now putting that fastest lap, maybe out of reach. We'll see. Could be better later in the race. We'll have more or less fuel in the car to do it. In the meantime, we'll see Baba Yaga still chasing Dutch down the straight here, down the front straight. And you would expect to maybe start seeing some pit stops here soon. Maybe not yet. But we're getting very close to that pit window. I think everyone's going to wait for the leader to bite. That would be Cher or Shaft. He's going to be coming around to the pit lane this time in. He's got full battery, so I wouldn't assume that he'll be boxing. Usually you want to go ahead and deplete your battery if you're going to be boxing. So I don't think we'll see Cher or Shaft coming in just on this lap. But maybe next. Maybe he's saving up for that lap. We'll see if Cher deploys some here. Sitting at about 90% battery. Has plenty to use. Maybe doesn't see much of a need to use it. I mean, when you're leading by 5.6 seconds, not much that can stop you. I think we see Femi battling with Chaos. Going through a really fast section here. Femi is looking on the outside. It's going to be close. They got to be careful. Femi's going to cede that position, but it's going to take the outside here. Chaos on the inside. Chaos is going to run out. Femi knows it. Stops early. Shoot, these two are keeping it nice and close. Hayescran, the first of the hard tire runners to come into a planned pit stop. Going on to the medium tire as we'd suspect, but these two battling. Femi doesn't have much battery, but can use what they've got. Sitting in the slipstream. DRS open. Chaos going to push him to the edge, but does leave space. Good clean driving from the drivers here in PRL. Always would like to see, Chaos about to run a little wide, but I think that's going to give the position up to Femi. And Chaos loses it up on the curbs, so that will be Femi's position. Taufer also coming in from the hards onto the mediums. While Hayescran just scoot on past there. And Femi with 10 seconds up the road, nowhere to be seen now. So right now, Femi is leading. Lucasade comes into the pits. Looks like Femi leading the ones who have taken a pit stop. I don't think they're going to catch Lucasade, not from here. So we'll see where Femi comes out. That looks to be Chaos Druid. Has put it into the wall there. Does he still have the wing on? Looks like it, and it looks okay. We're seeing more of the leaders start to pit. That's Shep into the medium tire now. He's going to exit. Baba Yaga there has eventually gotten around Dutch. I can't believe we watched that action for so long and missed it. But Dutch going to be battling Lucasade straight out of the pit. I don't think Lucasade has the medium tire, but it's cold. And Dutch has some nice warm hot tires on there. Looks like Green Hornet also coming in for a set of medium tires. Femi just pushing their way past there. If we can get an idea here of the pit delta, it's going to be between Lucasade and Femi. So it's going to be, what, 26 seconds? So about a 26-second pit delta. You see Chaos Druid coming into the pits, maybe to get rid of those tires that have been scrubbed up. You see Cher Shaft now finally deciding to come in for the box. Northern Mechanic will get the overtake. I don't think Lucasade, though, is close enough. No, Lucasade is not close enough to get the overtake done. They will be close coming out, but Cher Shaft is going to hold on to this one. Out comes not Jimmy, that must be, well, no, I think it is Jimmy, but Jimmy has retired the car. So there's Sheriff Shaft. Northern Canuck's going to be checking him out, but not going to be close enough to get anything done. Now what Northern Canuck can do here is he can have Sheriff Shaft start pulling him around the track if he can catch up and get into the DRS. Northern Canuck might be able to get a little bit of a tow from Sheriff Shaft and make these hard tires stretch that much further. We're almost to the point to where I think drivers could go onto a set of softs if they wanted to. Northern Canuck already fallen out of the DRS zone of Sheriff Shaft, so this plan may not run out as originally thought.
Which one do you...
Not too much on-track action right now. The main thing is going to be who is our next one to come into the pits. Is it going to be Northern Canuck or is it going to be Baba Yaga? They're the oldest ones on tires along with Dutch. Northern Canuck will pass on the pit stop. How about Baba Yaga? Baba Yaga's going to come in. Will Dutch follow them in or is Dutch going to stay out? Dutch is going to follow them right in. Dutch and Baba Yaga have been running close all day. So close they even take their pit stops together. The Ferrari goes out as the McLaren comes in. So they've got about a 3-second gap to each other. Will come out. Baba Yaga's going to not want to be lighting the tires up too much. Femi is just now starting to come down the straight. So is Femi going to be able to overtake these two coming out of the pit stop? Not quite, but Femi does have hot tires, and these two are cold. So Femi's going to be looking to make a solid move here. This could be the part where the strategy does pay off a little bit for Femi. We'll see, though. It's going to be right in Dutch's DRS. Going to go for the inside move. Wow, that was bold. But it paid off. Dutch kind of diving out of the way for Femi there. Doesn't want to get involved in an accident on the fresh tire. So now Femi's going to run down Baba Yaga. Not close enough to the DRS, but will get a little bit of a slipstream, I would think. No, maybe not. Femi actually pulling out of the track to make sure Dutch does not get the slipstream in the DRS. Femi really going to be looking to try to get caught up to Baba Yaga on those cold tires. Needs a little bit of DRS to help keep Dutch off the case. That leaves just Northern Canuck for a pit stop now. Northern Canuck stayed out quite a while on those hard tires. Not too sure how far back they will drop. I would say they'll probably slot in right behind Tar Heels after a pit stop. And may be able to get the overtake done on Tar Heels. Tar Heels will be on old hards, and I think it's going to take those to the very end of the race now. So the tires for Dutch have warmed up now. That advantage for Femi is gone. It's going to be all they can do to hold off Dutch going into the DRS zone. Oh, Dutch getting a lot of spin there, but keeping it together. It's going to be right up behind Femi. Femi's going to move to the middle of the track. Oh, they're getting really close. Femi giving a little shove there. Femi checking to the right side, checking to the left side. Dutch is going to let him go through. But Dutch is not going to be happy about that contact. Coming out of the exit here, now Dutch is going to be running right up behind Femi. Not going to be able to make a move here. Just a little too far behind. but not very far. Dutch playing some games with the throttle there. Right up behind Femi. Can't get much closer than this without being getting into contact. Oh, and there is contact. Dutch has spun Femi around, and Green Hornet arrives on the scene. Says, "Thanks for the positions, guys." So Dutch and Femi exchanging blows here. Femi's not going to be happy about that at all. Hayscran just stopping off and allowing Femi past. I wonder if maybe the game was saying it was an illegal overtake, even though it shouldn't have been, because Femi was completely off the track. So Hayscran not taking any chances, although the stewards probably would have removed that one for him. Let's jump up to the Mercedes teammates here, Northern Canuck and Lucasade. Shaft is holding on to that lead, and Northern Canuck, I would assume, is going to let Lucasade on through, because those old hard tires are just not going to put up a fight against the mediums, even if they wanted to try to fight. Yep, so there goes Northern Canuck just into the box after 20 laps on those hard tires. Quite impressive. Northern Canuck going to want to be able to hold on to as much time as they can. Going on to the soft tire now, so they'll be impressive looking here at the end of the race. We'll keep an eye on them. I predicted they would come out just behind Tar Heels. They may come out just in front of Tar Heels. It's going to be close. Let's watch it from Tar Heels' perspective. Oh, Tar Heels is coming quick. I don't think it's going to happen for Northern. No. So Northern will be behind Tar Heels, but not too far behind. Close enough to where they will be able to get DRS, I would think, soon. They just have to be careful on those cold tires. Gotta treat them like rocks. That's practically what they are at this point in time, but they will soften up quickly. Looks like we've got Green Hornet running really close with Dutch here. Dutch wants the overtake on Hornet. Dutch going to be looking to actually make some ground back up. Wants to catch up to Baba Yaga, who they were battling earlier, but I don't think it's going to happen. Green Hornet doing everything they can, keeping Dutch behind, and it will work for now. Dutch close enough, really close on Green Hornet there. Shaft just going ahead and setting at 1:33.7 as the fastest lap. Just to say he did. I believe takes it away from Jimmy Pull-Up because Jimmy has retired. So I believe his laps no longer count towards the fastest lap. Northern Canuck, however, is going to look to make an impact on that on soft tires now, running right behind Tar Heels. May be able, no, not going to be on this lap, but on the next lap, we'll probably be able to set a fastest lap of the race. We'll see. Northern Canuck has caught up to Tar Heels. I don't think they'll be able to catch up to Scuderia Shep. That looks to be the Alpine Taufer that has skidded off the track there. Northern making up good ground on Tar Heels here. Has the wing open. Closing up on Tar Heels. Is he going to go for the move on the inside? I don't think he is. I think he's going to hold off. Yep, he's going to charge up a little bit of that battery. Let the drag slow him down. Gets really close. Got to be careful on that curb. It will throw you away. These two are battling for position. I think Tar Heels knows, unless he can put up a masterclass defense and force Northern into a mistake, that Northern's going to get him. So we'll see how Tar Heels is able to react. Oh, they're getting close. Tar Heels closes the door there on Canuck. Not going to let him through anywhere. Tar Heels is a competitive driver. Drives in and I think maybe owns the NASCAR division of PRL. I'm not sure if he is the lead, if he owns the NASCAR tier or not. I'm not entirely sure. But for one thing, Tar Heels does know how to block. So we'll see now, can he block with the DRS? With Northern Canuck's gonna have, he's using up all his battery, doesn't have much left to give. Northern Canuck's gonna try to put it around the outside, just doesn't have the speed to get there. So Tar Heels is gonna hold on. Now Northern Canuck's gotta be careful. If you start to overheat those tires, which I can't quite see their tire temperatures from here, but if you're heating those tires too much in this battle, you're going to be in a lot of trouble trying to actually get the move done. Canuck right up behind Tar Heels now. Going to go on the inside. Has the DRS. Tar Heels not going to fight this one. Not worth the potential incident. Not worth the potential penalties. Tar Heels is happy on his hard tires. He's going to bring him to the end. The next challenger there will be if Baba Yaga can get within touching distance, which I'm not sure that he can. That's quite a lot of gap to make up and not a lot of laps left to do it. But Dutch now is going to work on closing up on Green Hornet. So we'll see what can be done here, if anything. Still have a couple of laps left. Don't really need to force anything. Does not want to end up putting the car somewhere he's going to regret. Both drivers getting a little dancy over the curbs. Femi is into the pit lane. I think maybe wanting to pick up soft tires to go for a fastest lap. Yes. Although giving up a position there to Dookie Hoser, not sure that's entirely the move. Just for the fastest lap. But also going to give up a position to Taufer? Yeah, Taufer's going to take that position. So, not entirely sure that was the move, but that is what they chose to do. Looks like Dutch is really starting to close up on Green Hornet now. These two are, well, not quite battling for position. Dutch needs to get around and then pick up an additional 3 seconds. I think Sheriff Shaft just picked up 3 seconds worth of penalties. Let's double check our penalties here. Yeah, so it's just 3 seconds all around. If Sheriff picks up another set of penalties, though, it's going to be on between Cher and Lucasade. So Dutch now looking to make moves here. Coming down to it, they've got 2 laps to go. And Tar Heels, to note, has stayed with Northern Canuck. I think the DRS has really helped. So we'll flick back and forth between these two battles here. And I think we're going to wait for Tar Heels to get a little closer. We'll watch the gap. We know Dutch can get close enough to Green Hornet. Question is Green Hornet's driving going to change based on this positioning now? And I'm not too sure. Green Hornet typically a pretty conservative, pretty safe driver. But to hold on to this position, he may ramp it up a little bit. We'll see what they can get done here. Meanwhile, back in the background, Femi getting past Tau for those soft on medium tires will get the job done. So Femi's regained that position. I still think they lost positions to maybe Haystrand and Dookie Hoser. And they probably won't get the point for fast and flat, so these two coming across the line now. This will be the final opportunity for Dutch to get the move done. We're going to jump up and watch Tar Heels, and we'll just keep an eye on the gaps, because Tar Heels is going to have the DRS straight here to get it done on Northern Canuck. Now, both of these drivers' tires are going to be wearing down. Northern Canuck's going to have shedded a lot of speed off those soft tires. They're going to be really worn. Tar Heels has been on the hard tires for so long they have to be worn too. They're going to come down to it, folks. They're going into the DRS straight. Tar Heels on the inside with Lucozade soft tires. They get so close to touching. And Tar Heels is going to hold the position for now. Lucozade wants to challenge, just cannot quite get the move done. So an amazing move from Tar Heels, getting back on the hard tires. Now the other question will be, is Dutch going to pull the same move here on Green Hornet? No, he's too far back. So, will Tar Heels be able to hold his position from Lucozade? We're going to keep an eye on it. That may do it. Tar Heels may be able to hold the position. I'm not sure. But so far, it's looking good. And we see Lucozade starting to fall back. Yes, so Tar Heels is going to hold on to that best of the rest position with an amazing overtake here on the final lap of the race. Canuck's going to slot in right behind him. Got to give it to these two. They raced well. They raced clean. Dutch's not going to be able to get it done on Green Hornet. Hayescran's going to come across the line. Dookie Hoser will finish ahead of Femi on track, but with the penalties, Femi is probably going to take that position, and I do not think... Nope, Femi going to run up the inside anyway. Femi wants it on track. Fastest lap is going to go to our winner, Cher Shaft. Your winner today for the PRL Tier 3 race in France. And lining up on the podium with Cher Shaft, you're going to have Lucozade and Scuderia Shep. So these three will be your podium for the race. Overall, not a terrible drive from our drivers today. We had a little bit of action here and there to watch. We'll see who our driver of the day is. They're going to give it to Tar Heels. I wouldn't disagree with that brave move at the end here. And did slip back a couple times, but made his way back up. Ran on the hard tires for what seemed like forever. So I think a well-deserved driver of the day for Tar Heels. Cher Shaft looking a little nervous to get up on the podium in first position, standing there at the top step. But it's his first time on the top step for this season. So Cher Shaft clearly paying attention when I made the comment about him not knowing what it's like to win a race. Well, no longer. Cher Shaft getting his first T3 win. And that will help improve his championship stake, no doubt. So, well done to Cher or Shaft taking the win. Lucozade and Scuderia Shep will fill out the rest of the podium. They're followed by Tar Heels, Northern Canuck, Baba Yaga, Green Hornet, Dutch, Hayescran, and Femi will round out our top 10 from the race today. Well, we thank you from PRL for hanging out with us, hanging around and catching up on our 12th round here in France. My name's been Tag Delta. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you next time.